Irish government project in Ireland and IT industries. His knowledge extends to digital devices, multimedia, telecom, metaverse, healthcare, IT, FMCG, entertainment, and related sectors. Utilizing AI, Gen AI, LLM models, and ML to drive innovation, product development, and successful market launch to monetize. Emphasizes self learning, patent protection, individual and team contributions, memberships, leader in diverse global regions, that is Asia, Europe, US, and beyond. He applies innovation in research projects, market launch products for commercialization and monetization. His core competencies lie in competitive business strategy and trending market product features. Sachin has developed core technology products as the world's first inventor, 25 patented technology concepts, 25 research papers, and 5 book chapters under his belt. And the most interesting, in his time away from work, he enjoys painting portraits of Lord Ganesh in different unique styles, having portfolio 200 plus pieces of art. So, welcome, Dr. Sachin. Please start your session.
Thank you. Special thanks to you and the team for organizing this event and making it successful. So I would take a screen control and we share the deck from my side also. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank
Screen
you.
is visible.
Thank you. Yes. So today, topic I'm going to cover about how GenAI can play a role for commercialization or I would say industrialization. What are the things which could be useful when there is a need for a project or how to identify a core problem and how to proceed for a solution side. So we'll be talking about how to commercialize or look it out AI-based solutions, especially for generative AI, and what could be the futuristic inventive features which could lead towards your benefit as well as I would say for actual launch or go-to-market project that we see. I'm also available on the LinkedIn. If you search it out with search it Sony Samsung, you will get it out. Uh, while you're working for any technology or a project or concept, so domain is very important. So it's certain boundary that we have to work it out whether your project is basically dealing with certain what type of applications would be there. And this is an approach when we are looking application oriented. Second approach could be there could be AI or Gen specific. For example, you want to work for certain algorithms, you want to work for memory management. So identifying the right application or core domain is very important. So I just listed healthcare, banking, wireless, blockchain, or maybe additional related. So I'll be touching the accordingly examples on that side. Second, once you have a domain with you for what kind of industrial research level or parameter that we look it out. So in that case, definitely problem identification is quite important. So considering, let's say, problems might be known to the world, you are coming up with the solution. And I would just say wherever there is a project proposal or a project that is under discussion or review, be very clear whether you are the first one in the world to solve this problem or already there are existing problems. You are just coming up with another solution. Let's say we have calling mechanism on the fourth side. So users can talk with each other by sitting remotely. It was there in 2G also, it's there in the 5G also. Or maybe 6G also definitely would be having. So what would be the different or the additional components would be coming? Either you're just going to have the same problem, but the method would be different. So this is the thing, it has to come with a clear message over there. And core novel approaches, for example, whether the problem statement or at a solution level, if there is a difference or the novel approach, try to bring it out. No matter it's a delta, I would also suggest even if it is quite delta level also, please be uh, sure to bring it out that kind of difference over there. And market acceptance, that means it's definitely should be usable. It's not something only some people like that idea or some people like this solution. That's why it is a good. No. It should be acceptable to the large number of audience, those who belongs to that particular domain. That's why the domain becomes rather important part because solution should be useful for the actual users, those who belong to the domain. Another part is definitely it goes to the monetization. Definitely the idea should be quite helpful or beneficiary it could takes towards the go-to market or the commercialization level. So that is I would say the important part of it. Till now, any question query I will try to answer in my next slides, or if any question query that you guys think it out, you want to call out that one. Okay, so let me look it out. Uh, how the Jerry is coming up. So Jerry definitely it really changed the way of working globally in the last 2 3 years. That's why has become quite important. It just keeps on increasing, I would say, because the type of I would say benefits or type of facility or feature
Your
that is
voice is
giving.
very low. Hello.
Oh, is it?
So I'm Dr. Shivani.
Okay, okay,
Your
hi,
voice is
Shivani.
little
Okay,
low.
just
Hello.
give me a second. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll change the settings. Give me a second here.
Okay, okay, no
Hello.
issues.
Sir, can you run the PPT slideshow because it is not visible properly?
Uh, I'm just making full screen as audio still
Yeah, as a
better?
full screen. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, yeah, thank you. Uh, so let's come to the GenAI part where the personalized content generation is trending, I would say. That's the reason generative AI comes to the role because earlier when we look the technologies and other because there are lots of facility, I would say, for content generation for GenAI, but personalized content generation has become a quite trending because based on the GenAI I could draft, let's say, I have to, as a publisher or the promoter of any advertisement strategy from a push from the server as a advertising company or a publisher. I used to earlier have a kind of very standard kind of messages to push it out. But you could see a more personalized content there. For example, I can target the users or my actual consumers based on the particular kind of their genre or maybe kind of domain. For example, Cadbury's video you guys might have seen advertisement. So it talks about kind of selling the items in your local market also. But that's so seamless that it identifies a particular city, it identifies who was the actual, uh, I would say, the seller in that particular market. So system looks it out, okay, these are the X people or X business traders in the market, and they could be a good connect to you in your local. For example, somebody sitting in Delhi may not be interested for the other location, but he is more interested to buy the items in the lower by or nearby area. So that's why the personalized content comes into the role. So system seamlessly generates such kind of video clips where it says about to opt for the local, I would say the sales partner or the sales person of the shop to go it out. So that's a something looks like a real time and it could also be very effective whether for your day-to-day life or the work. So that's the reason the personalized content has come into the role over there. And it definitely also increase the enhanced customer engagement because when we look at out the others scenario, user or system might go for um, a generic kind of thing and sometime may not turn up the right information because if we look out the world of current era where the user is more engagement, user is more demanding, no matter just a product, it's also for the technology also. So user wants to know more engaged, more content, more information specifically for the user side. So that's quite important. That's why user engagement is quite important. So when there is a need for a particular project or a technology, we just need to see it out how much we can engage to the user. It's not just one-way traffic we have to deliver. We also get the information from the other side also, and then accordingly we have to react for that information. And definitely, we are just looking that project to deliver some revenue or part over there. So generative AI could also be used for the immersive and the dynamic virtual world. So as we gave the example of the video, so another interesting question could come it out that how the Gen AI could also lead in the virtual world to show the content, I would say, uh, in terms of let's say some video, either in the digital world or could be like a 3D or a metaverse. Those kind of things would also be there with Gen AI. So Gen AI, for example, it can generate the characters, it can generate the scenario or the context for the user as per the requirement, and definitely users would also be able to interact it over there. So that's the reason it has come up in the more virtual world so that more variety or the more content of the data is to be there. And technology not only just it could apply for the gaming also and entertainment also, because gaming is also like a trending industry and Gen AI is going to help over there in gaming side also. For example, users could interact with particular, I would say, the object or character over there. Character can behave in a very personalized manner through the user A, B, C. Let's say we have three gamers A, B, C. Then accordingly, system can behave differently. So it's not like that when I log into a game, it always looks me the similar kind of experience, but it's going to be again dynamic as we go it out. And that's the reason the personalized nature comes into the role when we go. So let me cover it up the next one. And there are certain consideration which should be there. And whenever any new technology comes for our system to work it out, it does not have the all the answers maybe the day one. It may have the various phases, and that's why let's say while it's a good example, it has like 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G kind of thing. So that's the reason that AI you might not see certain things, so especially with the generative AI day one or let's say a couple of years, because system has to run with the governance, control, responsibility, and that's the reason certain things are not available immediately because those things require certain attention or the control or maybe some guidelines. So that's the reason there is a difference or a balance, I would say, innovation and responsibility, both sides. So definitely there would be a requirement for trust for ensuring the long-term success so that we have, and that's the reason Gen AI is created again. When we see 2, 3 years back, the data was limited. Now the data is available, multimodality, real time. All these things are coming into the role, and that's all that phase wise or balanced approach has taken care. And definitely we have the guardrails and governance over. So this is also another, I would say, a good part of research or a project which could be there. Let's say I was talking one was algorithm, one is application. Third could be the domain where you look it out, what's the control, what's the governance, what's the responsibility, your AI module or AI applications can take it out so that you could apply those governance, control, guardrails across the project. No matter it's for e-commerce, it's for healthcare, it's for FMCG, you could apply it out across application. So that could also be the another area of research. So overall, I say AI or Gen AI basically meant for right information for right user at right place of time. That's the beauty of AI, and that's if I look more for generative AI. So because Gen AI, I link to the more personalized manner means, for example, if user is willing to buy particular, let's say, accessory for him. So in that case, he needs, okay, what's the necessary cost, when to buy, when it will be delivered, what cost, how it can, long can be available, or he can, or she can use it out. So those things are like information for an individual person. It does not matter for him what others are looking because he has to take decision, he has to use that accessory, and that's why we need that kind of information for his or her level. So AI is basically the part of it, and Gen AI especially because it looks out the personalized content over there and behave in that particular fashion. Let's take another example, and this could be interactive also. I plan to prepare this one. So it will also be eye opener that how uh, we could look it out uh, while forming the project. So I just looked at this project from the banking point of view. Let's say we know like there are different disasters in India, and there could be like fire, earthquake, flood, drought. So all this could be the different type of disasters are there. So as a human, we cannot control those disasters, but as a human, by knowing the prediction, by knowing the opportunity, we could definitely take the preventive action or the measurement so that losses are minimal. So that could be the another scenario. So as an AI side, what are the different things that we see? So AI could definitely predict me the location, intensity, maybe time for safety, accuracy. So if all this information are there, I can plan my things accordingly. So that is I would say the one aspect when AI looks it out for particular disaster. And definitely again it has to work for a previous pattern or a prediction, I would say. And that could be again a self-learning model or generative AI definitely could also be there. Like, okay, what could be the possible scenario or maybe a situation in the next one or so? So that is also the very important aspect there. Let's look this scenario in a one more deeper level, and that could be a, one of the like a project exercise that I'm going to take it up. So that was a discussion from the disaster point of view. But let's say we have to look it out. As a banking, let's say some bank is there headquartered in Delhi that and they want to see the situation of disaster in a particular, let's say coastal or seashore area. So as a bank, what could be the different opportunity for them to solve this problem? So I divide this in a three situation: before disaster, during disaster, and after disaster from my left hand side. So what will happen that when bank is planning to open a branch in a particular area, so what could be the impact of disaster to them? What could be the plan or action item for them? So the bank could also plan in early, okay, what could be the loan terms and condition, what could be the interest rate, because depending on the history of uh, disaster in a particular area, because people may not be able to give the EMI or return the loan value as the normal one, those who are in the non-disaster area. So the system or the bank has to do it out. So if let's say bank team asks you and you are the AI or Gen AI expert there, so these are the things that you could help it out to make a plan or strategy for that. So you have to come up with your loan strategy, your I would say that percentage of the loan interest value, or maybe what could be the pre-plan, or maybe the offer that could get out, or maybe terms and conditions, what will happen if disaster comes. All these things should be taken care, and definitely it will not be the part of the regular one. So that's the one part that one has to take care. Second is during disaster, what will happen? Let's say if there's a coastal and there is a subcyclone. So during disaster or maybe cyclone may have the different intensity over there. So people will have the account, but they will not be able to get that account maybe or not be able to access. But at that time, people would need the money because it's a user's money or the customer's money. So at that time, we need to look it out what could be the different scenario, how to avail the services because people may not be able to carry their checkbook, passbook, or maybe the card or credit cards or debit card. So system has to look it out what could be the different opportunities for them to look it out as a during disaster so that account services can be availed. So in this case, we have to go for the technology or let's say for iris or maybe the fingerprint for the access that portion and system has to verify okay these are the verified users for the seamless services. And what will happen, let's say, the after banking scenario in the after disaster? So it is also to maintain the customer because getting might be the new customer with an opportunity for bank or maybe maintaining also because people would be looking the newer loans to build their home, to build their business, to start their businesses or trading, whatever might be the one. So those would be the opportunity for the bankers. So bank has to come. Another way of look it out, I'm just taking another example that if there is a bank has to, let's say, give the money during the disaster time. So Like bank can plan a particular, let's say, the bank on wheels, that means a mobile van, which could carry the ATM machines. So as an AI, there will be an opportunity for the bank, and I see the several problem statements and several project opportunity. Okay, how many vans are required in a particular, let's say, 20-kilometer area, or how many vans could be deployed, or maybe how many ATM machines should be deployed in a particular area, or how many wells can cover, or maybe what cash flow could be there, because that's based on the some trend and the pattern. How much would be the, so that there should not be no shortage, because it should not be like that from the other branch that ATM machine has been I would say on mobile van, but when it reaches into a second or third let's say point or delivery, there is a shortage of the money. So all these things during the operation has to be taken care, and definitely one can decide their model also based on, let's say, 3 parameters, 6 parameters, or maybe 20 parameters. So this is how it depends how many things you have taken into consideration. And as I said, one project may not be the solution for everything. So when you also propose, be very clear that your system is going to solve X number of problems, that's it, but your system is currently not ready for Y number of problem statements. So be very clear. You can put the why as a your plan or so, but you should be aware about it, that what are the things that you have taken into consideration, what are the things are not part of your project, but definitely it was part of your consideration or part of your planning, so that one could also trust and show the importance of the project that what you carry about it there. As I said, about the third one is about maintaining the services, or and verify or the method. So that has to be taken into care in the account. Till now, any question, query also? Otherwise, I will move to the next situation.
Not right now, sir. You can
Okay.
continue. We can ask question at the end of the session.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you. So I'm just looking at another opportunity, let's say, where there is a customer service engagement. So the both parties talk each other, and the what's the purpose of talking with each other? Because both parties, I'm just taking example of the banking, whenever the user goes to the banking and he or she wants to avail a particular, let's say, loan. The idea is the user has come to take a loan, bank is ready to give a loan, but both of them try to understand each other, what's the loan policies, terms and conditions. So there's a lots of data which get exchanged between these two parties. It could be like text, image, or the video. So text could be, I'm just trying to understand their STT, let's say there's audios to processing or the speech processing, which will be processed or analyzed as a text. There could be the second one, which I'm looking uh, particular interest or maybe sentiment analysis or my expressions of my users, that whether he's just looking for exploring the loan amount for, let's say, for his car, or maybe he's really a needy or looking it out, so that bankers could take a decision or maybe suggest. Because an invert say, I would say the journey against is a helping hand. uh, it's the right, I would say, the info source to the both the parties, whether the bank person has to give answer just for, I would say, explanation of the banking loan strategy for a particular bank or the services, or the banker would also know, okay, hey, he's really looking to close a deal, or he's really wants today or tomorrow, so that accordingly there could be a balanced approach. Or maybe user could also look, let's say, if he's just exploring 5 banks, so based on the information, it's helping for the both the parties. So if user wants to check it out, the other bank, he could do it out by looking out, okay, hey, these are the things which X banks provide, Y is not providing. So those kind of competition or the comparative can also be there, and it might be competition for a bank, but for the user point of view, it's available that information is a comparison level. So those things could also be the possibility for the, I would say, GenAI based processing, so that it could also look it out, user can look it out, I have to take a loan maybe today or tomorrow, or maybe where I need the car actually. So those things and decision would be quite effective, and the simplistic would be there. So these are the things. And customer care is also another disruption, I would say, when I look for the banking, maybe other customer care center support because they have a very strategic patterns or the manuals to be followed for a particular problem. So those things are requiring or maybe a very high level of GenAI attention where generative AI is helping out because currently what is happening that in the customer care center, the executive is there whenever there is a problem or issue comes through phone call or email, the person has to either read the manual, what should be a solution, or based on his training or remembering part of it, he could answer that one. So, but sometimes situation may be more complex. Sometimes user is looking first time, or maybe the executive is looking first time the problem. So here GenAI could help it out. Hey, these are the let's say solution for a particular problem. Let's say the person is facing issue for the billing, recharge, etc. So those things which might be taking 10 minutes, it might be taking a less than minute to generate that response for the customer care call, whether it's like a audio or a textual reply. So those things are going to be another very impactful for customer. And I see one good part in the customer care side for AI point of view. It has very structured data. It has all the procedure content in a very structured manner, like what to do if and else. All these things are well defined. So that's a good part also for us as an AI engineer or expert. Those things would be doable. I'll move for the next one. So there is another thing is taking back to the example of banking. Let's say if the purpose is just to look it out the context of the customer and the banker interaction, what is the wealth behavior prediction? It could be classified. It could look out the history pattern. What are the things to be taken care further? For example, let's say talk has happened. So what could be the display offer? Let's say I'm getting a more, let's say vehicle inquiry or loan inquiry during, let's say the festive season. So the bank could look it out this as an opportunity. Okay, during festive season, they should have more promotion for car loans or more promotion, more offers, or more maybe personalized suggestions through email or WhatsApp or messages. So those are the things which will run on the pattern what the customer context has brought up. And similarly, those information would be available as a search patterns for them so that there could be a decision basically on the both party that for the user also, for the banker also. And decision will be more accurate, easy, I would say fast and quick because it's all driven on the I would say data available. It's not something that banker say, okay, hey, I don't like your profile, I'm rejecting. No. Or he even say, okay, you are approved. So it's more on the base of the data and the facts that user would get to know why his application has been rejected or why he has been granted for a particular amount of loan. So it will help both the parties. It will boost the convenience relationship between the both who are customers, and definitely it would be a success story for both of the parties that why they're engaged for a particular deal. So AI is or generative AI is basically helping to give a more context, more content of the data, or maybe the more reasoning. So that's the part over here. So again, looking at the GenAI for banking side, so it definitely has a very high expectation, like 118 billion by 2032, and it could also be not just banking side also, it could also for healthcare and IT. And there are a couple of models which are there already, autoencoders, GANs, LLMs are there. So these are all the models which are helping us to make these applications available for us. And this could also be, I touched about more on the users point of view of the bank because bank has a several, I would say, sectors or domain to do it out. But in that case of uh, banking side, it has lots of processing the backend side also. For example, they could be like a security, fraud, risk. All this modeling would also be there in the backends, which user does not know about or it user is not aware about might be or that what bank is doing in the backend to maintain their data, maintain their accounts and all. So all this also another part of take that opportunity for projects or the business from that point of view. Another part is it has lots of opportunity, I would say, in terms of display also because what we see the today's world, uh, for example, interaction with the banking when you go physically or you go virtually. So there could be a more to come, I would say. Definitely metaverse or the virtual world would be there for that portion. So it basically also, if I look the personal more one, I talked about it, it's going to increase the more efficiency. Instant responses is one of the quite important part, and personalized customer experience. So user get the query not as a ready-made uh, query answers which is made or prepared for the vast number of users, but it's more on the personalized, I would say. So that is also the part of generative AI, so that you get the question answered according to your convenience or your situation, what you're sitting it out, not the generic answer. So product development and another thing is bank could also take this as an opportunity to develop a product. For example, as you're talking about the car loan, so it's a seasonal one, what bank maybe look it out why the deal is run getting close. So there is some I would say difference with the competition or what is the need it out. For example, tomorrow electric vehicle comes, so it may attract the different terms and conditions for a loan. So the bank could also have a opportunity to revise their products, look it out, what's the need or trending as per the market, or what are the major or micro events. For example, if there's some environmental disruption or all these things are running in the market, so bank could be more attentive for electric vehicle side and accordingly look the development as well as the operations over there. So in this case, we talked about the banking also has another scenario, not just user security point of view. It has like small scale business loans. It also has a commercial banking to train the algorithms for, and yes, there is a need for the data also. That's why a lots of synthetic or augmented data is or curated data is in progress to do a more, I would say, the patterns or to be the more determination or deterministic model to be there because the data would be needed out to train a particular LLM model. So this is how it works out. And I talked about it. It could also look it out. The generative AI could also help it out to the users. What could be the needing to them? For example, the festive season is about to come. So next year, the bank itself may reach to the users that okay, there's a trend. Okay, these are the patterns where their customers would be needing it out. So more like a proactive approach to deliver or maybe ask the services to them. And if this looks out their pattern of the saving accounts or maybe their spending patterns or maybe their earning pattern, there could be a balance about it and there could be a different opportunity for banker side to do suggestions or recommendations based on the personalized content over there. It could also learn more based on the interactions and looks out what are the financial well-being. And it could also offer, let's say, for example, some travel tour or trips, or maybe one of the things that users planning maybe next 10 years or 20 years, depends on this, like business, retirement, etc. All these things. So these things all are part of inherited, which could be like understanding the more the customer need, more you know, more you deliver the insights or the more features to the users. So so there could be like a certain limitations might come that you may not have the right, maybe the content or the behavior data of the users. So there could be a scenario would be there, security concerns would be there, definitely the fake images of the content would be there. So that's the reason I was telling in the beginning that that's why you see the things are running in uh, I would say that control manner or the governance manner, and definitely privacy is another concern. So, but in that case, yes, both party has to agree, and it definitely depends the type of business or the project that you deal for personalized content information processing. So, I would say that AI is basically made to have the more value to the expert solutions, and AI cannot replace a human, I would say, or intelligent expert because AI is meant to deliver. I would say helping hand to the business expert, or maybe, for example, it's like a bank or a healthcare. So it's going to add more value, more data and facts related information where the business or the leaders could take a, or maybe the right person can take a decision over there. So this is how it's going to work it out. I'm just changing the another segment which I want to talk about for the healthcare side, and because it's also quite emerging domain or the business for AI. especially with generative AI. So digital twin is one concept, medical training and telehealth. So in healthcare, like with metaverse or digital twin, these are the very popular one because they do a more experimentation, more kind of hands-on, I would say, the practice. It's not just only the college or university. Once they go to the actual world of the hospital or healthcare, they need to do lots of hands-on practices, and that's why the doctors, before becoming a senior doctor and all, they have to do lots of training and experimentation. So that's why AI or maybe generative AI along with the metaverse digital twin, it's a big help over there. So very high level when you look it out the digital twin architecture, and that's all combination with Gen AI over there. So let's say we have the data or repository which works on a actual physical data level, and we do a pre-processing data analytics would be there. So we get to know what are the similar situations over there, or what are the root cause, or maybe what are the symptoms, and also those could be qualified or be classified as a similar issues or similar categories, and system can look it out uh, what was the output of simulation when we run out for those kind of things. So that's why digital twin has made like a virtual simulation, look it out the parallelly and number of permutation combinations for, because in healthcare like everybody has a different body structure, and not sure. There's a lots of research going on that currently, if somebody has a fever, doctor gives only 3 days medicine, let's say 2 times in a day. And if you are okay, then just maybe doctor say, okay, don't take more. But if it is taking more time, so you may get a second set of treatment or a procedure or a medication. But there would be time soon. It depends how much time it takes. So doctor may say, okay, hey, you just need 3.5 mg, you need 6.7 mg, because everybody has a different structure. There, I would say the more insights or the intensity type of disease that you carry. So currently, it's also I was telling about the personalized. So currently, these medications are given for their expertise, what they see, but that would be another helping it for them to give a more personalized treatment of that scenario. So when we look it out the digital twins or digital twin, we are trying to replicate the somebody's situation of disease in a virtual world or a digital world, and look it out what are the uh, complications which are running, or maybe what could be the impact of treatment would be there. So it's not only for organ wise also there. So if we look it out to for cardiovascular also, so cardiovascular simulations could also be there to handle such kind of scenario for organ-based one, and that's one. So it's very interesting part to look it out. If doctor looks out the different, and again, doctor is going to take a decision. AI or generative AI just going to produce, let's say, the 8 different scenario Gen AI is going to produce out of it, and out of which the doctor looks out, okay, hey, this one green color is fits to my patient, and this is the right one. So accordingly, there could be like identification, what are the disease, or the digital treatment can be simulated for the various treatments in a various combination in the virtual world, and definitely treatment to be chosen by the doctor, and finally personalized medicine treatment would be started. So it also has like a good combination how DT or digital twin with generative AI has come it out, or maybe it could also suggest different type of scenarios in this scenario. Again, for the healthcare, we talked about, so in very high level, healthcare also has a lots of applications. Look out the chatbots for patients. They can do Q&A. Doctor can look out the report generation immediately. What could be the level of treatment, or maybe more interactive. Augmented procedures should be there for radiology reports. So now the reports will talk to the doctor. So report itself will be telling to doctor, hey, this patient is report is saying this. So those kind of things will be there, and I think text-to-body generations, like a recently the very effective popular research was there, and there could be a different diseases support for the inpatient, outpatient. So all these things are working very effectively for Gen AI with the healthcare, and so it's more towards personalized medicine generation, synthetic data, more dealing with the records or the healthcare, and more about the disease progression modeling. So all these things are very effectively planned for healthcare, considering the Gen AI scenario, and disease management. It could also look it out. generative AI-based medical imaging where it could look it out, what could be the reports interaction, just not just for looking at the traditional way of identification, but report itself will tell lots of next related strategy to work it out. Definitely just for the doctor-patient level I told, but there could be more about the intelligent medicine or drug discovery systems. There could be more prediction over there for disease risk assessment, virtual health, remote patient monitoring. So these all are very part of it, I would say, uh, uh, in the for the healthcare. So I planned this much for this session, looking it out for healthcare and the banking as the two major sections in this scenario. Would you be happy to see the more discussion on this side and any question, query, concern comes?
Yes. Hello. I'm
Yes,
audible?
yes. Yeah, please.
Yeah, yeah. So any participant have any query? Anyone? Okay. Sir, there is a query from the Rupak Kumar sir.
Yes,
Connecting
sir.
AI with Bitcoin mining can potentially lead to increased efficiency and profitability. It's in the chat box.
Okay.
Connecting AI with Bitcoin mining can potentially lead to increased efficiency and profitability.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Bitcoin, but maybe profitability or the efficiency, you're looking in which aspect? So there are two, three scenarios when we look at it. So recently, you might have seen like WorldCoin. Okay, I have not touched this topic, but okay, let's maybe not sure if everyone knows. But it's a good question because I also like this one. One question maybe answer for the several people also. So uh, in this scenario, let's say World ID has been created by Sam Altman with a couple of his folks or the leaders over there. So it basically has a two purpose. He realized there would be a situation in the world when lots of bots, lots of robots would be there, and it will be difficult to identify you're talking to human or you're talking to machine. So that's why he came up with the concept called World ID. So every human has the ID over there, and you can have your passport, Aadhaar, PAN, etc. over there. So now that's a world coin the terms. They are maintaining this world coin for world ID. So that's a cryptocurrency or the digital currency that they're doing. So now there are two things. With AI is going to support that ecosystem of the uh, Bitcoin, or I would say the digital currency. Maybe cryptocurrency is the right word, maybe. That's one scenario. Second is whether AI inside this, let's say the world ID creation, what I talked about, or maybe the world coin. Either that is going to do it, or this is my way of looking this it out. So definitely AI is going to be helping hand there because it is going to create, for example, when I see the scenario for this world ID creation, and just for the knowledge of everybody, when you see some cryptocurrency or some bitcoins, they are made or dedicatedly for a particular problem statement or a particular business scenario that may be extending a lot or depending on the situation. So in this case, it's definitely due to this AI, the world ID is going to be floated out, maintain it out for various users. Even like one person carries a multiple IDs, for example, for passport, Aadhaar, PAN. So all this will be managed by it. So as a user also, like I might be having the 10 more cards because even person carries the 10 different bank cards. The person also carries the cards for, let's say, for their tourism purpose, for their some restaurant and all. So these are the things which are the part of it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. The next question from the Sudhakar Devedi sir. How can AI be used in fraud detection and prevention in banking?
Yeah, so definitely AI is going to look it out that what kind of pattern or suspicious activities. For example, when the suspicious activity comes, the system could look it out from the panel. Let's say somebody is trying to log in and try to enter the secure firewall system. So there could be a attempt or the pattern that system can look it out from the AI. Okay, hey, this is a suspicious activity, or maybe this could be the activity from the same person, but for other thing or the non-approved one. So these are the things which system could look it out very proactively because whenever there's a firewall attempt by the users. So system can, and that's the beauty of AI. It could identify suspicious. He decides or maybe classifies later, but it looks out certain data in the pattern. Okay, these are the activities. Let's say user is trying to access my system in a non-appropriate manner or the non-approved manner. So this is how it could be, and that's basically, and you said very well, detection and prevention, because firstly, AI has to detect, and as I said about action is the one, but prevention is the one. So it also has to terminate immediately. It does not need to, I would say, wait for the further next section. So immediately it has to prevent, and prevention could be the way it raises the alarm, it terminates the things based on his approved power for AI what the bank has given. So that's a good part over there. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. The one more question from the Millie ma'am side. Which AI models are commonly used for text generation and how do they work?
So basically, text generation, I would say another way that uh, working side, let's say very high level, let's say RAG is the one example. Uh, so firstly, tries to retrieve the content and you just look the scenario. There a number of documents are there, and let's say you're looking to generate a text for, let's say I have to prepare some, let's say, New Year wishes. So system will have the certain, I would say, retrieve that information. Okay, you're trying to look it out that generating New Year wishes in your own style. Let's say you want in your New Year wishes, you want the word to be New Year should be there, and certain X component should be there. So system will RAG models are quite popular. Now the agentic has come. So RAG is basically work on the three stages: retrieve, augment, and generate. So firstly, it retrieves the content, it try to augment, and then it goes for the content generation over there. So this is like retrieval augmentation generation method it comes out. RAG is like another opportunity where RAD could work with, I would say, the agent side also. That agents basically work for a very systematic manner. So it identifies, okay, which document to be searched or which patterns to be done. And in that case, as per the RAG side, RAG is like a very structured format to prepare the answers. But there are a couple of models which are there, like OpenAI's like GPT model 3, 4, or Strawberry, the model has come. And they basically, they firstly are trained for the basic information, but they have the transformation capability. So transformers are the effective models, I would say, and there could be the different variations if you look for the Gemini or the Meta or the Google side or maybe the Amazon's one. So those are the things. And in that case, I will also add it out that content generation, let's say if you're looking, so they could be text to text also generation. There could be text to image. For example, you give the text, it gives the output in terms of image or video. So that is also like generation is not just limited to text also. It depends on the I would say for image or the video part, image is very simplistic. It works on a diffuser. So let's say you want to draw a UFO having 3 or 4 aliens over there. So system will be work in a diffuser manner. So firstly, let's say it works a very noisy image or video. And then system has a recursive loop over there. So based on your input, maybe GAN is another example. So based on which it tries to keep on improvising the per frame, it keeps on trying to reduce the noise and make the more effective or the relevant component that you are looking it out. So this is how it's going to work it out for generation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, Sachin sir, I have some question regarding the text generation.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I just want to know this, like apart from Chat GPT, any like Gemini, any other real world application for text generation in the industry, like such as media, for the education and the customer service, for the specific, like you can say that the this application is used best for the particular industry.
Maybe if you could look it out for, let's say, Adobe Firefly, so it's working quite trending, and Adobe itself is I would say, brand name for the product. So there is Adobe Firefly, it's quite trending also, which is running. It's like Amazon's Lex is another example. It's going to be the industry of, let's say, the customer care, which are there. So these are the, I would say, popular trending coming. And as I said about, so everybody's in a too early stage, but sometimes it has to work in a good combination. For example, let's say I want to derive for, let's say, media generation for Adobe Firefly, but we really need some guardrail tools which are there. So, for example, there should be no inappropriate content to the typing, or maybe secondly, when the contents are generated, they should be well filtered properly. So those are the things which works in a combination over there. And one more thing, as I will connect to the previous one, like there's a text generation. Let's say there is a text generation, for example, I want to generate, let's say, syllabus for seventh semester for BTech computer science, let's say database or algorithms project. So in that case, I have to look it out. I should have the right information with me so that I can generate the content, for example, and again the personalized filtration would come it out. So that that's the reason I was saying the rank and the fine tuning comes into the role. So let's say the University of APJ might be having a different structure. Let's say they might be asking to deliver the syllabus or the content, let's say by having 40, 50 lectures, while the other university might be looking only 30 lectures they need, or they just need a crash course kind of thing, or they just need a very application oriented. So those are the things which goes into fine tuning also the stage or during our the project planning stage. So those are the very customized one. And yes, there are certain solutions which are available, you could say as a SaaS or the ready-to-use solutions which are available according to the need, but it has to definitely go certain customization.
Okay, like just we are talking about some sector. So like in the education sector, when we are generating some text, so we have to face some challenges like how we can ensure that AI generated text is accurate, unbiased, and contextual appropriate. How we can ensure that? What are the challenges basically we are facing for to
Yeah,
ensure
yeah,
that?
I understand. So it's basically hallucination which comes out in the role, and it's not the only for education or academics. It's for all because sometimes system also gets biased. Let's say it's a situation. Let's say I'm asking a chatbot to generate a coursework. Let's say for generative AI, which maybe system is not aware about Gen AI. So in that case, we just need to train a model for that particular scenario. I would say that's the reason we say that model is not trained for those kind of situations. So in that case, I would be asking there should be a right data set available, and firstly like a structured one, and definitely there should be fine tuning, and prompting is also quite important because when we put a prompt to the system, so it's a situation like a kid is asking, okay, what like kid has been asked to identify elephant, but he has never seen elephant in his life. So he or she may not be able to identify as an elephant. So same thing with generative AI also. So when there is a prompt has been there, so system should have the well awareness about it. Okay, hey, this is the actual query meant or intent for the context or the reasoning based, and try to map it for the answer. So in that case, very summarization way, the system should have the well handling of the hallucination. That means system should not also, because sometimes system go in a monotonous kind of reply. Even I will just suggest you, if you get a chance, maybe anybody, maybe you ask the same question maybe 10 times in a day to the chatbot. It looks to you the response to the keywords or some here and there has been changed, but the essence would remain similar. The reason is because system is not currently thinking anew. It is working based on certain memory or the learning or the pattern what it carries about it. And this is the experiment you will realize about it. So that's the reason the current limitation is there. So but yes, currently based on certain patterns or certain training or data, system can generate and suggest the items to you. So for example, if system has not seen, he will not be able to tell you. And that's why certain limitations are there. And we call it as a fine tuning. We try to, as sir said about the situations that if data is not correct and all. So that's why still I would also recommend that don't just use it data immediately what comes out, do a QC, do a verification as a human, then only progress of further. Because currently, this is the situation we cannot say that it's guaranteed that what you have asked that has been delivered out of it.
Okay, okay. I think the AI powered chatbot and virtual teaching assistant enhance student engagement through the text generation,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So there's a lots of text generation. Yeah. For students also, like I see, like people ask question instead of going traditional way of searching some topic on the Google, people ask it over there. Okay, hey, what is this? Or maybe they just expect more. So they just ask not only, let's say, who is the president, but what is the actions, what is his governance, what is the there. So people ask the double question, or even that's why sometimes you call it a complex queries over there. And system tries to answer them by combining as per the capability of the prompt to generate the answers quickly.
Okay, thank you, Sachin sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Shivani ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Sachin sir,
Thank you,
for a
ma'am.
very
Thank you.
informative session. And every question you are very well explained.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for listening for your time. Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you. Millie, please continue.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you, ma'am.
much for your insightful session in this faculty development program. Your expertise and engaging presentation have significantly contributed to enhancing our knowledge. We appreciate your valuable time and effort. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you, ma'am.
sir.
Thank you. Take care, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you all for your active participations in this FDP session. You made it truly enriching. There are some announcement for tomorrow session. Kindly note. The session schedule for tomorrow will begin at 2 p.m. and the validatory session will be held at 6:30 p.m. And please note that attendance will be recorded via Cisco WebEx and there will be no any Google form for attendance. So kindly join on time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nitin sir. Thank you, Shivani ma'am.
Thank you, Millie ma'am.
Thank you, Millie ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You may all leave now.
Leave. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.